is 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay. Rap your city. Let me see the mic. Rap your city. Give me the mic. Rap your city. I got you. Rap your city. I'm gonna tell you about mine. Rap your city.
It's time for us to go live, so rep your city. I really would appreciate if y'all roll with me. Feeling this music cause it makes me wanna step. And if you don't want it to, then you lying to yourself. Cause every time we party, we gon' have fun. I don't know about you, but I'ma rep where I'm from.
Rap your city. Okay. Rap your city. Let me see the mic. Rap your city. Give me the mic. Rap your city.
Welcome to the RYC Live Show this evening. I am Artistic, your host for tonight, and welcome to the RYC Live Show. This is the Throwback Thursday for tonight, and we welcome everyone as usual. And we definitely have a very special guest with us tonight, one of our very own Chicago artists. Waiting backstage to make his appearance. We hope you all can sit back and enjoy the show tonight. It should definitely be an epic show. Don't forget to share, like, and all that other good stuff with the broadcast. Oh, wow. Look at my homeboy, Mr. RYC Live himself. Checking in. What's up, my brother?
I don't know how I popped in. I'm trying to pop out. You can pop me back out if you can.
Okay. So we're going to, with that being said, that was Mr. RYC Live himself checking in. So we're going to have him spending some time with us tonight. But without further ado, we have our special guest. This is a man who represents all the elements, has been on the scene since the late 70s, representing Chicago and also representing Atlanta, an MC, graffiti artist, DJ, producer, and b-boy, and hip-hop fashionist. I mean, entrepreneur. The man definitely has a long resume. He's a legend, a Chicago legend, that is. And he was one of the artists, MCs that was rocking back in the day on WHBK. For those that may remember and for those that don't know, let's welcome the legendary Mr. Mello D. What's happening?
How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, so welcome to the show, my brother.
Man, I'm glad to be here, man. I love what you're doing.
Oh man, appreciate that. So hey man, let's get right into this interview. You know we got people watching and waiting to tune in to hear what you got to say. So let's take it all the way back to your beginnings of you coming up back in the day over in Hyde Park when you started, in the game.
Well, like I told you, I wrote my first rhyme back in '79, and it all started when a friend of mine played me Rapper's Delight. We used to sig all the time, so his whole thing was like, you got to hear this record, man. You got to hear this record. You're going to love it. And I remember listening to it, and when he got to the part where the chicken tastes like wood, I was like, hold up. I think I could do this. I'd be able to do it better than him.
Right,
and he left me with the record, and I just started studying it. And like I said, now mind you, the record wasn't playing on the radio yet, so it was still like a month before it even was on the radio. So I'm in school running around singing hip hop and all this, and everybody looking at me like, is he lost his mind or something? Is he okay? But, a month later, they started realizing, how did he already know this record?
Right.
Stuff like that. So that was like the very beginning.
Okay. Interesting. So talk about the development during that time once you got started and how things began to grow for you when it came to hip hop in Chicago?
Well, it still goes back, like I said. After that, I started making sure he got me any record that had that Sugar Hill on it, or Enjoy, as I found out. And then that went to trying to find anybody that you knew anything else about rap or hip hop. And mainly those people were more like from New York. They were people we knew, cousins that would come for the summer. And I would just pick anybody's brain that I could or vibe with them. And then I introduced it to my crew of people I was running around with. Some took to it like a fish out of water. The majority of people was just like, okay, all right. We'll get back with you a little later on that.
Right.
And that just started the quest to, finding more hip hop heads and, really just trying to, like, y'all not up on this? Y'all ain't feeling it? Y'all don't get this?
Right.
And then you just started, as that progress began, you started learning, okay, it's more avenues to it than just rap and DJing. It's graffiti, it's breakdancing. And, like I said, all these facets just made it way more intriguing to me. It was just like, I'm like, this is it. This is it. I just knew it.
Dope.
This.
So I know we got so much to talk about, and your history is very large and huge. But as we have, let's see, oh wow, we got comments coming in and everything. Let me try to do these as some of these come in real quick. Hold on one second here. Just acknowledge some of the people that's making comments. We got Taco Bops checking in from the West Side. Taco, that's what's up. Oh, and we got Alonzo Wilson, Mello D. Yeah. We got Crazy Legs Rob checking in. Yes, sir. He say, I'm here. He say, represent.
Hey.
He said, can Mello turn his volume up just a bit? Oh, okay. He said, can you turn up your volume a little bit?
Is that better?
Okay, yeah.
Is it better for him? I mean, we doing this for Rob, right?
Okay, so Rob, let us know if that's better.
Yeah, is it? Turn up the volume.
And we got Snake Rock checking in. Snake Rock says,
Mello D,
what up, legend Snake?
Y'all know about that guy right there. Y'all know about that guy.
Yeah. That's what's up. Oh, he said it's better. He said it's better. Cool. All right, cool. So, hey, we would like to just say thank you all for tuning in. Once again, as you all know, we got Mello D in the building, and we're going to be getting into some nice history here tonight. Once again, please make sure to share, comment, and like on a broadcast tonight. And again, sit back and enjoy the show, everyone. So with that being said, let's just pick back up where we left off. So where were you living at in Hyde Park, Mello? Like what area were you in?
I stayed off of Lakeside, so like Hyde Park Boulevard. I was on the other side of the viaduct. So Hyde Park, the way we described it, was from Lakeside to Drexel side, and I was on that side, but I was running around everywhere. So as we were doing that, anybody, like I said, you're welcome to come along, and we formed a crew. We had a tight crew. We had a tight crew throughout the years. Like I said, everybody that took to it was committed,
Mm-hmm.
And then the people who didn't, they watched as we turned it into what we turned it into. And they know today, like, how did he know that this was, how did he know this was going to become what it became? And I'm like, I didn't. I just know how I felt about it. So,
right.
Which brings us to the day, and you can see the world also feels that way about it. So that's really what that was. Because like Legs, when I started running around, when me and Rob met, it was all through hip hop, E-Ski, Low Ski. I mean, a gang of people like Snake. That's how we meet. And you talking about people that other than hip hop, we probably wouldn't know each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, prior to that, I was in the streets.
Right.
I ain't getting the typical Chicago stuff. So, like I said, I thank hip hop for saving my life, honestly.
That's what's up. Hey, listen, we got We got another one of your homeboys checking in. Let's see here. Hold on. So let's see here. We got Crash Green checking in.
Uh-oh, Crash in the building. Salute. Salute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Shout out to all the crews, all the B-boys, the most outstanding B-boys, you know, north side, south side, and west side and east side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's what's up. So, okay, so let's just talk about in a timeline style fashion. Let's kind of just talk about how things began to develop. Now, I came up in the hip hop game on the southeast side. I was from 101st, right off of State Street. Okay. And you know, the first element I started with was breaking and popping. And obviously, you know, it was before, you know, B Street came out and the movie Breaking. But, you know, during that time, everybody was pretty much dancing in Chicago. And if they wasn't, they wanted to learn, or at least they was interested in watching those that could do it. So, you know, and we used to travel just like most B-boys travel, go downtown, dance on Michigan Avenue, Rush Street, you know what I'm saying? Anywhere we can attract the crowd, you know. But for the most part, we stayed in our neighborhood because we were still kids, you know, 11, 12, 13 years old, you know. And but it was, when we first witnessed it, it was just such a phenomenal dance. Seeing it on TV like Soul Train and That's Incredible. And, you know, I was a big fan of the New York City Breakers back in the day. And I would see them cats on Soul Train and all the TV shows that they appeared on. It just mesmerized me. And then I became a fan. I became one of the fan club members in 1983. And from there, it was pretty much over.
Well, like we talked about, you know, the other day when we were talking, you know, breakdancing was the first major part of hip hop that, you know, broke into the mainstream. You know, rap hadn't done that yet. Mm-hmm. No avenue of hip hop had DJing, graffiti, none of that had really, you know, you knew about it, but breakdancing was the thing that brought hip hop to the world. Because mm-hmm. once you got into breakdancing, you realize, oh, it's a part of this culture, which is hip hop. And like you said, people right. were intrigued by it, the old and the young, you know, they were mesmerized by it. I mean, because when you saw it perform at the highest level, there was no way you couldn't be in awe of that, because you hadn't seen anything like that, because it combined so many things. It had the tribal vibe of the ancient, plus it had the karate movie moves. It just entailed all of these elements because it derived from all of that. So, you know, when you seen it done by the top people, like you saying, like the New York City Breakers and Rocksteady Crew and just all those other cats that, you know, really knew how to do it, you were just like, I got to learn how to do that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. And like everybody else, we set out to do it. You know, I was already an athlete and I could tumble, but I'm like, I'm about to figure this out too, just like this rapping. I'm about to figure this out. I'm about to learn how to crab walk and windmill. I'm about to learn this. And we used to spend hours, man, sitting up, rewinding any video that had any breakdance move in it, you know, the Gap Band or whoever. We sit up there and just rewind it till we got to learn this move, practicing it in a corner if we could, because we couldn't wait to try it out in front of people to, you know, get that response. And once you got that move down pat, you felt like a god. You like, yeah, let me see somebody top that. So, you know, that's what it was. Then we went downtown and we was carrying the linoleum or the cardboard on the bus, and the bus driver looking at us like, are y'all serious? And we like, yeah. Yes, we are. I remember hiding the cardboard downtown and coming back, and they were stolen. Like, damn, we got to do this all over again. It was, you know, man, those were some great times. Like I said, that's when you could just be free with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I contribute breakdancing as the breaking the wall down for hip hop in Chicago and in the world, period. You know, so.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the crews, because obviously you were in multiple crews, but let's talk about the B-boy crews. And who were the names of these crews that you were an actual member of, and how did they start with you being a member?
Well, like I said, it was me, Legs, Celine, E-Ski, Robert L, Lil Dozy. We all started out with the cats in the neighborhood initially because we were the only ones we really knew at that time until we started going downtown and meeting cats from up north and, you know, the different crews, you know. And then as it started taking on a life where they started having like talent shows and contests, and, you know, it just was expanding. It was like, you know, everybody started venturing out their own ways, you know, and linking up with different people. Like I ended up in the Chicago Street Rockers. They was a group from the West Side. Rob and Myron. I left Myron now. Rob and Myron, they ended up with, I think you know the name of the group. I can't think of it right now.
Was that the Planet Rockers?
Yeah, the Planet Rockers. And like they did big things. Like to me, they were like one of the top groups in Chicago as far as what they did. I think they were on Bozo, and like I said, they took the first place at the Saxon paint contest. We took second place though, but you know, they were so deep. Like I could have joined that group, but they were just too many. Like they had at least 12 to 15 people in that group. They had like 3 little kids and 2 girls, and they was deep. So when they were splitting that purse, I know everybody's getting about $10.
Okay.
But like I said, you had tons of groups. Like, you know, the names slipped my mind. Like if you mention them, I definitely remember them. You know, Tidal Wave. You know, I definitely remember Tidal Wave, and they were more like a potluck group. But they, you know, they still had their run, and they say so in the game because they were tight at what they did. They were definitely tight. It was a ton of groups though and crews that really had it down packed. And I'm not just talking about the moves. I'm talking about the looks. You know, the whole, they walk in the spot, you be like, oh, they in the building. They in the building. They would not just come with crew, they come with their support team. Like, like did they bring their whole neighborhood in? Like, they got their own cheering section. Like they walk on the stage, everybody just yelling for them. I'm like, this not gonna be fair. But like I said, those are some great times. But you know, like that Saxon contest to me was like the biggest thing that I can remember that happened as far as breakdancing goes in Chicago. That paint contest.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the details of the breaking crews. So we'll be right back. You're watching the RYC Live Show. We'll be back in a moment.
If you want to see them, make sure they see you. Local to Global is a full-service film, video production, and marketing company that emphasizes on high-quality, brand-focused content to boost brand awareness through marketing, advertising, and broadcast media. Everyone has a story. Let us tell yours. We are Local to Global Production.
Welcome back to the RYC Live Show this evening, and we have our special guest, Mr. Mello D, representing the legendary Chicago MC, b-boy, graffiti artist, DJ, producer, representing all the elements. You know, it's just an honor and a privilege to have you on the show tonight, my brother. And we got a comment that came in during the commercial break from Crash Green. And he says, ask Mello if he remembers almost getting arrested at Calumet Park with Renegade Rockers when we battled a crew at a Catholic school talent show.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember sitting in the back of that police car. I remember that they couldn't take us slaughtering them on the floor, so they wanted to go fisticuffs, and that didn't work out well for them either. So, you know, and then when the police came, somehow everybody was pointing at me, but, you know. I didn't make it no better cursing the cops out, but no, I definitely remember that, Crash. You know that. Yeah.
So for the record, give the viewers the name of the breaking crews that you represented.
Oh man, like I said, the Chicago Street Rockers, that was the one I did most of the, you know, as far as business, like professional shows and different things like that. But the Renegade Rockers, I ran with them. The Dynamic Rockers, you know, like I said, we had different names. We called ourselves Rocksteady. You know, we ran with a lot of different names in the beginning because we was just putting it out there. But like I said, we weren't doing any shows. We was just running around.
Okay.
Dancing in the neighborhood at that time, like I said. But it might be something that slipped my mind because, like I said, at any given moment, our name would change. Like we're not calling ourselves that no more. But like I said, that was in the beginning. Once we started seeing it got real and people were paying you to come do shows and you could win contests, then it was time to get with, you know, different cliques that was pursuing stuff like that. And that's how I ended up in the Chicago Street Rockers. And other people went to the Planet Rockers and, you know, stuff like that. So that was really what that was. But
so and what about this which I have right here, the MOB, the Most Outstanding B-Boys? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, that initially started as I wanted to come up with something that you know describes Chicago. And you know, Chicago is known for mob stuff. So I was like, okay, we're gonna be called the mob, but I just didn't want to just say the mob and leave it at that. So I was like, nah, we got to have these letters mean something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I came up with the Most Outstanding B-Boys, because that was like the hip hop mob. You know what I'm saying? So, and that represented, just like you got all the 5 families and all these different families. That's how I looked at it, like all these different cliques from around the city that, you know, they had their crews and they were on top of their A game with hip hop. They was most outstanding to me. But it started off as me and E-Ski as a rap group. And it expanded into a broader view for just Chicago. You know, the way I looked at it, you know, to this day I still consider myself most outstanding. You know what I'm saying? I still consider a lot of people most outstanding, you know. It's just, that's what that title entails, you know, most outstanding B-boy, you know. I'm proud of that, me personally. Like I said, I'm like when we first started talking and he was like, I didn't know you break dance. I'm like, huh?
Nope.
Like, then you said you a B-boy? I'm like, I'm the most outstanding B-boy. What are you talking about? Like, no. Like, so that's what that was. Like, no, that's how I really take that. Like, nah, man, you talk about hip-hop being a B-boy? Oh, no. We live that to the fullest. We live that to the fullest. And I still rep it to this day, you know, just grown man style. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, you know, in harmony with what you just said, because, you know, that is very passionate to a lot of people that understand it. So how important was it for you to embrace all of the elements? Because it got to the point to where some people only represented one and they kind of tried to divide the elements, so to speak. You know, some people was like, well, I'm a rapper, but you know, I'm not hip hop. You know, they try to disengage, you know, to some degree. So how was that important? How was that important? So important for you to have them all be a part of one?
Well, like I said, as I started learning what hip hop was, that it was a culture, I put that over when my intrigue with rap. You know what I'm saying? That hip hop became bigger than rap to me because, like I said, I realized this is a culture. This is a lifestyle. This is not just a thing that you do. This is something that you live. So once I embraced that, then I had to set out to try to master all these things, which were breakdancing, which was DJing, which was graffitiing. You know, not if nothing else, learning having that b-boy stand. If you know what I'm saying, if you ain't got that b-boy stand down pat, you might not want to be next to me. You know, you shell toes gonna be like bam, and them Pumas go, you know. So the cane goes. It was just, you know, that like I said, I embraced everything. And some people, getting back to why other people did that, some people to them it was a fad for that moment. You know, like when the Fat Boys around, you know, people embraced that part in time of rap when running them. But by the time they got to KRS and Rakim and them, the Public Enemy, they weren't looking at it like that. They were just like, okay, this is cool. And then you have some that with breakdancing, that's as far as they went with it. You know, like, you know, especially when you talk about Chicago per se, because New York, they were definitely doing everything. And on the West Coast, they were doing their version of everything. But in Chicago, some people just grab hold to what fit them for that time. And then when that time passed, you know, they put back on that other uniform.
Right.
You know? Like, you know, like Nas said, others such as myself is trying to carry on traditions, you know what I'm saying? Or AZ myself, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. I kept it going. And other people I know kept it going. Like yourself, you still doing it. You still representing. I told you that the other day. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
Just, you know, ain't nobody about to do no breakdance moves right now. So this is your version of representing the culture. You know what I'm saying? And keeping, you know, the history alive, because the history of Chicago on a whole, as far as hip hop goes, don't nobody know that. Some people that don't exist. Some people that started with Common. Some people started with Hay in the middle of the barn. You know, they don't really know where to pinpoint hip hop in Chicago as far as the beginning. You know, we don't have our story intact like the East Coast does, or the West Coast for that matter, or the South. So, that's just what it is. You know, for those that were there, they know who the players were. You know, that's why we talk about D.A. Smart. That's why we talk about the Snake Rocks. That's why we talk about the Low Skis. That's why we talk about the people who was doing it then that still rep it to this day. Me and you just met recently, you know what I'm saying? But I know you're a true head. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? And you know people that I know. And we never met back then. Even though we were in the same circle. So that speaks volumes. You know, you're not somebody that just popped up and said, yeah, I'm gonna do the history of hip hop in Chicago and nobody knows you.
Right.
Looking at you left field, like, who knows this guy? Who is this? I think every time that I talk about history, I have to always bring up HBK. And you know, even though you know, I got off into I started breaking first, and then about a year or two later I started doing graffiti and I started rapping a little bit. But graffiti and breaking were kind of like probably like the main elements that I focused on. And, you know, but HBK was still a major channel for us to connect when it came to Chicago hip hop. And when we stumbled across it, my boy that lived on my block stumbled across it one day just by turning the dial, and he heard some rapping. And then he was like, hey, listen to this, you know. And then from that day on, we started listening to HBK every weekend. And then when we realized that they was able to, we were able to submit a tape and they would play it, we actually recorded some music and took a tape down to HBK. And sure enough, they played our music just like they was playing everybody else's local music. So HBK was a major
factor in bringing us together, whether we realized it or not, because we would hear these voices on the radio. Like I told you, I would hear your name all the time, Top Dog and Double C,
Top
you know,
dog.
MOC rap. You know, we would hear them all the time, you know, and these were groups of people that we hadn't met them just yet, but we knew their name and what they sounded like because of HBK.
Like, I can't never say enough about HBK, because as far as hip hop goes in Chicago, HBK is probably 3 pillars, not just one, because what it did do was unify the city through that station, because GCI and BMX wasn't playing rap like that. They played whatever commercial songs, you know, were in the top 10 or whatever it was. But as far as what you heard on HBK, oh no, you got the truth. And then not just what you heard from New York or the East Coast or the West Coast, what you heard from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's where our voice lived.
Mm-hmm.
That's where our voice lived. Not just mine, but everybody. Everybody had something to say. You that's how you knew about certain people that you wouldn't even know anything about if you didn't have HBK, because other than that radio station, everybody was in their neighborhoods. You didn't have a spot you could go to showcase any talent, but nobody letting you get on a stage and rap at that time. So you didn't have an outlet for it, you know, let alone, you know, a place where you could be practically almost seen. People could see you coming through them speakers through HBK, because people tune in to HBK. HBK was a jewel, a true jewel, and it went on for years. Like I said, once I discovered HBK, you know, I lived up there and had many battles up there. And like I said, it was just what it represented, and what it still represents is, like I said, at least 3 pillars, if not all 4, of the support that hip hop was built on, is the foundation of hip hop in Chicago, because you didn't have any outlet like that, definitely at that time.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, you didn't have one club, you didn't have anything where you could just say, "Oh, I'm gonna go see them do this," or "I'm gonna go down here and kick some rhymes." No, that wasn't happening then. That definitely wasn't happening. So,
hey, so Mello, could you please share with the viewers your first experience in terms of how you got introduced to HBK?
oh, rest in peace, Cool Rock Steady. But so Cool Rock was down with us for a minute, you know. So he'd be hanging with us, and then the next thing you know, he'd just break out, and then we tune in to HBK, and then we'd hear him on the radio. So we like, hold up. So the next time he came around, we was like, "You taking us to HBK?" And he was like, "No, I'm not." We was like, "Yes, you are." He was like, "No, I'm not." We was like, "Oh, okay. All right." So he pulled his "I'm about to leave." We was like, "Go on ahead." And we followed him. So he's walking and he keeps looking back, and we like, turn back around. Stop looking. Don't look back here no more. You know, messing with him. And then one time he turned around and we was gone, because we pulled a little move on him, because we knew the way he was heading, he could only be going 1 or 2 ways. And we knew it was at the university. So we just took a chance. And when we did that, he cut over and we saw him again. And we was like, there you go. And now he got this pep in his step. He like, yeah, I done lost him or whatever. They gave up. And he went in there, and then we didn't follow. We didn't see him go in the building, but we knew once we got to the area, we was like, he could only went in there because that's the only place that seems open and lively. Everything else was shut down or lights off or anything. So when we went in there, we was like, is the radio station in here? They was like, oh yeah, it's up there. So when we go and knock on the door, I don't know if it was Ken or JP Chill, but one of them came and let us in. And I know when we came around that corner, I would say, if I had that picture of Cool Rock right now, I have it on my wall, because his face, he was so mad at us. He was so mad, like he wanted to kill us. He was so mad. So Ken starts talking to us, and he was like, yeah, so do you guys rap? We was like, do we? He was like, y'all want to be on the radio? We can be on the radio? So we just playing it all off, and he's just, oh, you could have fried an egg in his hand. He was so mad. And then when they let us get on the radio and do what we did, it was me, E-Ski, and Salim, Easy Love at that time. We was on the radio. We did our little routine. And after that, Ken was like, "Oh, you guys can come back anytime." That Cool Rock was just sick after that. But hey, sometimes it just be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
going to the radio station, guy. So,
yeah, yeah.
and we got on the radio station, and the rest was history. And then other cats started coming up there, and that created some of the legendary on the air battles. Like, you know, people would call in and pick who they felt rhymed the best. Like I said, they did a lot of things that at that time, you know, it wasn't anything that nobody suggested. They just realized the influx of people that were coming there and coming to them. So they just, you know, they handled it well. Like I said, they gave everybody some type of look or listen. You know, they didn't go, well, I'm not cool with you, or you didn't act like you was on my jock enough, so you can't. They didn't go in all of that. It was like, oh, you got something to present? Okay, we'll check it out, but then we're gonna let the public decide whether or not we're gonna keep you around. And that they didn't have no control of that. So once that phone started ringing, that would determine if you was coming back or not.
Okay.
You know, that's what I really
Okay.
remember.
Okay, well, let's look at some more of these comments here. We got Lady Alicia, who's a member of our team, the RYC Live family. She says, welcome to the RYC Live Show, Mello D, salute. And then we got Mike Bellamy. He said, my boy Mello.
Mike
so,
Ski.
Yeah, he's checking
Mike
in.
Ski
and then
to Chicago. Wise Tale. That's
yeah.
That's, Easy Love, Big KS, baby.
All right. He said, what's good, Mike? And then we got Crash coming back in, said Ken was the man back at HBK. Back then at HBK.
Yeah, I gave him that name, K-Ill.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And then here's Taco Bops. He said WGCI not till 88 when I got a hold of it. Taco Bopski, you know, he was a radio personality. So hip hop, you know.
When they started playing rap, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what 4 or 5 years after that or something. 3
Yeah.
4 years
Yeah.
HBK was already rocking and rolling.
Yeah. There's Wise again. My man Epic checking in, says yo. Then Wise coming, say yes sir, easy L baby. And then Leg said that memory with Cool Rock is priceless.
Oh yeah. That's I hate everybody can't see that face. That face. Oh, you talking about sick. Oh, you so mad.
Mike say Boogie Boys.
Yeah, the Boogie Boys. That was one of our crews. We was running, man. I might not need to say that, but no, we tagged Kenwood back in the day. We put Boogie Boys on the wall, and we was up there like, who did that? Everybody looking at us like, y'all the only people up here with this rap graffiti stuff. We still didn't do that though. We didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know how that got there.
Yeah, man. Good. So many good memories, man. I definitely think that, you know, again, going back to HBK, it was definitely for us, especially on the South Side. Now, the North Side had WNUR.
I remember WNUR. I was listening to them before HBK.
Okay.
That's where I heard Run DMC at.
Okay.
That's where I heard Suck MCs and Houdini. That was the first place I heard it. But, you know, it was static. But when I heard that, I was like, because I thought that came from outer space. I was like, what is this?
Right.
I was like, oh. Then, you know, that try to, you know, you hold the antenna to try to get that station. But
yeah,
I don't remember WNUR being accessible as WHBK.
Yeah.
I never been up
there. Yeah. And I guess all depending on where you were at in terms of demographics, in terms of the regional part of the city, you got it better. Because obviously, if you were in Hyde Park, you picked up HBK well. You know, and like for me, you know, me and my crew, we were on 101st. So we would get static from time to time because we were not as close as you all were. But, you know, still, nevertheless, it was such an honor to just to be aware that a station like that existed, you know. And again, it brought us together. It helped promote hip hop to a large degree because it was where we found out stuff was even happening, concerts, parties, meetings. you know.
Like I said, I can't speak enough about HBK because, like I said, it was the first voice as far as hip hop goes for the city on a whole. It wasn't biased. It didn't represent one clique over another. It didn't do any of that. Did nobody have no more seniority over anybody else. What made you stand out up there was your skill set. The more you had the skills, the more they didn't mind, you doing your thing. But they knew when, okay, no, you're not getting back on this microphone, and we won't be accepting any more tapes from them or playing anymore. You can send them all you want, but you had to show and prove up there. That was the one thing about that.
Right. So okay, so let's talk a little bit about the element of rhyming. So for you, Mello, how would you describe your style of rhyming as an MC?
Well, back then, when I was coming up learning the game, like I said, after I got past like the Sugar Hill gangs and the beginning little Curtis Blows and all that, and I started getting into like super rapping Furious 5 and then learning about the Treacherous 3 and the new rap language and seeing the real lyrical skills. That's when I was like, nah, this is where I'm shooting for. So you started finding out like the coldest cats were the top battle rappers, which was Mello D, Melly Mel, and people like that. So I put myself in that line to try to be at that upper echelon of it. So I took on a standpoint of learning how to not just, the battle rapping aspect, but those cats also wrote a lot of their routines for their crews. So I made it a thing to learn how to do that. And then I had a mentor. I ain't gonna go too much in that story, but I think I told you about the guy that told me he was Raheem from the Furious 5. And he basically like schooled me on how to make songs, like song structure, not just endless rhyming and all that. So, that a lot of stuff that I learned from him in the discipline factor that came with, being that trying to snatch the pebble out of his hand. Once I was turned loose, it was like, I just knew a lot of cats didn't have that skill because where did you get it from?
Mm-hmm.
It was like I had a trainer in it, so it took me to another level. I had somebody like, no, stop with the whip, the ruler, like cracking that whip on my back. So by the time I had perfected what I was doing, like I said, I was up echelon with it. Like battle rapping, I lived for that. And I lived for others that had the skill set. Like we talked about DA, that he pushed me to that limit because he brought it. He understood the rage and ripping somebody's head off with that microphone.
Right.
So I challenged those cats. I had some battles, but the majority of them after 2 rhymes, they just knew it was like, this ain't about to work because it's just, it's built. He built different, but there was other MCs that, like I said, I go back to DA because, like I said, that me and that cat had some wars.
Wow.
Some wars. So salute to DA Smart. That's
DA
my brother
Smart.
right there.
Dope. Okay, well let's
other talented MCs, so not taking nothing away from nobody else.
For sure. Okay, well let's get into playing some of your music from back in the day, and when we'll play this so everyone can hear the audio, and then we'll talk about it as afterwards a little bit. Okay, so I actually want to start off with this one song that you made called "Straight Out of the Shy," and I think this one, it's very, very easy to listen to, and it's fly. It has a nice vibe to it. I was listening to this, man, like, man, it's one of them songs that you can keep listening to. You know how you hear something, you like it, and you play it again, and you play it again, you play it again, and it's like still sounding good to you every time you play it.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, so let's take a listen to this one for those that may not have ever heard it. This should be something that you should enjoy, and for those that have heard it, you already know what it sounds like. So let's take a listen to this one.
Okay.
rolling down the island at Stony. Pumping up a system that's Sony. I'm with my homies smoking Buddha like always. Big fat blunts in the trunk is the AKs. And we on our way back to the 5-3 HP Harry Chicken Shack. So we can get a snack before we go and get with the rest of the psycho sick click. That's when to start trouble when there ain't none. We would invite you to the fight, but we know you can't come. And since I run more shit than diarrhea, the niggas trying to burn me like gonorrhea, but see ya, cause now I'm underground, so far down. You think Harriet Tubman's around? I'm in the shot town on the south side of Chicago. While the others play outside, the Mello's on the down low. Giving props to Herbie Hancock and Shaka Khan for dropping this bomb. For the player that's so fly, it's Tom Joyner from WTCI, straight out to shine. 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 Streets like an alley rat searching for the kitty cat, just like a dog will get sweated by the balls on my head. They got a bounty to avoid the feds at the crook in the Cook County. The ground I go under, cause I'm not trying to change my name for no number. Cause it's a bummer sitting in a cell, so blunts and stunts is what I hit on the DL with a real female. And you could best believe there ain't no weave or no leaf nails, just plenty of ass and breasts. So honey, pass the set so I can smoke and choke and then stroke and poke. And since I'm not no joke, stop the open show. Cause in a city full of brothers and folks, you know these players here ain't got no hope. It be the home of Capone, Notorious Frank Nitty. I be Mello D coming from the Windy City. I got more beef with the big than Roy and Oink. Mello D, the MOB, HP, the hollow point, straight out to shine. 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 Baby. Straight out to shine, baby. Yeah. Straight out to shine, my best. Melody. Yeah. Straight out to shine. Straight out to shine. Straight out to shine.
Shout out to LSD, Old 43rd Street, Big Villa, hold it down. Yeah,
wow.
Like I said, man, that song there, man. You know, like I said, you got Shaka Khan. This is all Chicago. That was my full intention of that. I took that whole stop on by and flipped it to straight out to shine.
Okay.
Ken sang that hook. She's a prodigy of Miss McLean for Kenwood. You know, she was before the R. Kelly class. She. That's why there ain't no auto tune on none of that. That's
What? So wait. So the lady that did the chorus, what was her name?
Tammy McCann. She from Kenwood. She went to Kenwood with us, but she was a year or two before me. But she was like before R. Kelly and Rob was the thing. She was the vocalist, like because Miss McLean taught gospel and opera. That's where Rob get all that feeling on your booty, all that stuff. He just took it and made it ghetto. But Tammy, she like at last, when I was dealing with her then, she was going overseas to sing opera.
Okay.
And I saw her, and when I presented her with the idea, she just loved, taking Shaka Khan and flipping it like that. So it worked out to all our benefits. But like I said, that's a diss song to me because it'll never go old. It's embedded in the reel. So
yeah. And when was it released again for the record, Mello?
like 96. Like 96, I finally dropped it between 96 and 97. Everything, the tape finally came out. But by the time I dropped the tape, people was moving on to CDs. They was like, "Man, I love to get that from you, but I just got a display in here." And I was like, "You know how many of these I bought?" Other than that, though, no, I enjoyed doing that project. Like I said, I got to represent the way I wanted to.
Okay. Why I say shout out to Crash Man and Malik Youssef, Mo Heads. So cool. Yeah, man. So what was it like making music back in those days, especially coming from Chicago, unlike New York and California?
You talking about when I did that tape or before that?
Well, before and during the time that you did that tape, what was that like to make music in Chicago?
Well, like I said, by the time I did that tape, saying you was rapping and trying to do rap music, it wasn't far-fetched to people. Everybody, not everybody at that time, but by that time it was accepted. But like when I first started rapping and was trying to do it seriously, oh no, I was looked at like, I had the one-man pandemic. Well, nobody trying to do that because, like I said, anybody that was doing music at that time was making house music or doing jingles. Anybody that had the equipment, you know what I'm saying? So
there you go.
Anybody that had the equipment, you know what I'm saying? They were either doing house music or commercials. So I didn't really get an opportunity to really start recording until, like I told you about, when Jesse Saunders called me in to do a song, which was like the first hip hop song. It never got released, but it was definitely the first hip hop song. So once I got that taste of the studio, that just took it to a whole nother level of, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna be doing, trying to make this music. And through that's how I learned how to produce, because I learned the terminologies, that go with the music game that a lot of cats didn't even know, because all I knew how to do was like, no, man, I need the beat, I need the boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. And they looking at me like, what the hell is that? You talk about a kick and a snare or a kick and a clap. I'm like, if it's gonna make the boom, boom, bap, yeah. So, once I started sitting down on there and figuring it out, like, oh, this what this called, this what this is, this how you express this is this, that came through trial and error. But by the time I got to doing that tape, like I said, LS had his craft mastered. He had to set up at the house and we just meshed. I brought records through and we chiseled out ideas and we flip it and come up with what we came up with. Like I said, if that was done on a professional level, like in a big studio across the board, 48 tracks to slide, oh, it would sound totally different. You be talking to me on the penthouse right now. Straight out the shower would be coming straight through your speakers. So
right. Okay, well, we need to take another quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get back into some music. All right, you all are watching the RYC Live Show, and we thank you all for watching. Continue to stay tuned in, and we will be right back.
fight once more, my style. Fight me. We came here to battle.
Bruce Lee in the mix, right here, RYC Live. Tell me, I did not just beat him.
You're pretty good.
Look, there's nothing new under the sun. Check my profile, trust me, bud. Y'all just tapped into an old style. Yeah, I used to cop 8 balls, rolling rocks. Every blue moon, import private stock. It's in my DNA, it's all in my spit. Check me for a drop, it's all in my shit. Test my hair follicles, I done smoked a lot of crews. If I won't hire, that mean you're not approved. Copy that, I'm straightforward like chainmail. Cops arresting prostitutes is fucking up their brain cells. So I try to come with a level head. A hard chick, soft and sweet, that's a devil egg. I'm the bomb, no ghostwriters lay raw lines. Axe severed legs and metal legs, they all mine. Body parts resemble a Mardi Gras. And 2 9 double M's with double C's is not a bra. Compared to prison, I got a lot of bars. Me without is like hip-hop without a Nas. It's like living without a God, healing without the scars, or quitting before you start, a wizard without the R's, wishing without the stars, bidding without the odds, a fishing without a rod, killing over some broad, or killing without a cause, Muslims without a mosque, or hooping without LeBrons. I handle bars that are stretching like tight ropes, make you reflect on your wheel like bike spokes. Trust fund, now share that to your next of kin, cause I'ma catch a body like leopard skin. Get it? Cat fur body, F it then. Here's a compact disc for the record then. Post bonds, the closest you get in the record spins. Now that's what I call arrested development. Everyday people, every day I see through transparent ass egos and shut them down like E2s. Don't think that I softened up or lost my touch. I'ma remain hip hop, even if I lost the crutch. 36 bars, 24 bars to go. You're tough enough to take a punchline, I bet you won't dodge the flow. Man up, man down. You try to stand up, you stand down. Hands up, not hands down. Real MCs don't look like rappers. Real kingpins don't look like dealers. I can squeeze the mic and hurt your feelings. I'd rather speak encourage the children. Street fights ain't worth the killings. Since Cain and Abel, we're still murdering siblings. Murders I witnessed and murders in innocent citizens like Ferguson. Murder senseless. You never heard of a sentence until you sentence one. And just for the record, you can spin this one. Then it's done. Come and get it. Dinner's done. Wait a minute. Simmer some. Process when it's done. Many acts when they hear me where I come from. That's ridiculous. I fuck where I come from. Word of mouth. I'm that dude you heard about. None of that rumbling, summoning, mumbling shit. The word's been out. Woke up from hibernation cause I barely sleep. Pigs, cheetahs, and snakes who I primarily see. From Sesame Street to wildlife, I love counting big birds since my child life. See, I ain't got a sag to show my ass off. A few shots at the bar and it's last call.
Welcome back to the RYC Live Show this evening. And we have our special guest, Mello D, in the building. Yes. You know, hey man, you know, I really get a kick out of hearing some of the Chicago MCs do their thing. You know, that was our homeboy JMD, aka also today he goes by Mr. Club Banger. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about now. I uploaded several pictures, and we're gonna talk about it as we listen to some music as well. But keep in mind that again, you know, this is for history purposes, is also for knowledge. A lot of people have not really or don't really know the full story of Chicago or some of the segments, because our history is very choppy, is very fragmented. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of gaps in our history over the years. And some of the stuff people are just totally unfamiliar with, especially dating back to the 70s and the 80s. So that's the whole purpose of the show, is to highlight and share that knowledge and history so people can be more aware of what was done before the people that's out here today. So I have another song, and again, Mello, you can explain a little bit afterward, but this one is entitled Stop Holding Me. And I liked it. I really enjoyed listening to this one as well.
Yo, man, they go my homeboys. Yeah, man, I'm talking about Mello. They go Mello, man. Oh, man, they go rock, man. Oh, and they deaf DJ, man. Fuck. Yo, man, those are my homeboys. Well, you all trader and an imitator. Cause people like you we hate, so catch you later. Homeboy, you're just a toy. Thinking you're the real McCoy. Talking loud in a crowd, making pretty much noise. Just bragging about this and talking about that. But the phrase you write the most is that you're like they sit down, got the juice on my town, just running around, thinking you about the crowd. But that's a beautiful feel. And a lot of lies will listen up this ain't your blood because we're telling you guys to stop holding me. Stop holding me. That's right, stop holding me. You see, my story begins when we used to be friends, but then you got your nickname. So Big Ben for clocking Hawk and clocking him and clocking all of them. Even clocking the clock to see what time it is. Cold hard on my tip, like a pair of my scripts, feel like a pair of girlies' lips. You could never slip from pushing no padlock, hanging off on my dime. Tighten up your boat, so every time I rock, my short is screaming, Mello's going every place I go. Follow me around, just like the shadow. Recently you had my name in all of my fame, but that rap is lame because your game ain't the same as mine. Is when I rock my old people's minds, but every time you bust a line, it's just a waste of time because you wish you had the juice just like Mello D. But homeboy, that can't be. In the days when we used to late, chilling out and chilling and all-time play. You was stuck for many years, plenty laughs and tears, but you got cold jealous when I sported for years. Back in the past, you had all the clout at your jams and parties. You kicked me out, but the cool rock steady kept on. Although you dipped me like a car without the corn. In front of my friends, you did it again. I thought our friendship would last until the end. As time has drifted on, we're going on, and at last, another man holding hands. And you walk around with your face in a frown, begging cool rocks. Can I be down? Calling me every day, calling me on my phone, but I leave my service on like I'm not born. Hey, that, my man, for treating me bad. Now I got all the things that you wish you had. Stop holding me.
Ain't no more lyrics.
Man, you know that just hearing that sound, that style of rhyme, it takes me back so much to the HBK days when we were all young. Because we used to have, some of us used to, I know I did, I used to have to sneak and listen to some of the music that was being played on HBK, because it would be late at night, you know what I'm saying, and the content, what I'm saying, some of the lyrics, of course, our family members, was like, what is that you're listening to,
Especially
but
Schoolie D.
yeah.
Especially Schoolie D.
But
Walk
it
in on
was,
one of his songs, you like, what?
oh, Mello, can you turn the volume up again? I know, like,
Oh,
sometimes when we play the music, I guess we had to turn down the volume. But
yeah. Am I good
yeah,
now?
yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
I
man,
just
that was,
especially Schoolie D though. Like his lyrics was
yeah. So talk a little bit about the concept and the whole operation behind that song, because that was really nice.
well, thank you. That song, like I said, after I did the song with Jesse Saunders, that's how I met Farley Keith. So he came to me and he wanted to do another song with me. And I was like, I'm not doing no more hip house. He was like, no, no, no. He's like, you know how everybody got out here, get off my jock and blah, blah, blah. He said, I got a song, I got an idea. It's called Stop Holding Me. And I was like, okay, that didn't stick out like that. But he was like, I got the beat. And when he played me that beat, I was like, okay, now I can rap to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I was like, but I got to bring somebody with me. So like I said, I was in a crew at the time, and my partner, he didn't make the session. So I called Cool Rock Steady at the last minute, and he came through. So once again, in true Cool Rock Steady form, he gets to the studio and he in panic mode, like, man, what we gonna do? And la la la. I said, dude, just write your verse. I'm gonna write the routine, and I'm gonna write my verse, and then we gonna do that. And so that's how it went down. And then when we were finished with it, though, it was like, oh, we got something here. So I took it to HBK. I knew that's where I was going with it. And we blew up after that. Like they did an article on us and all kind of stuff because people were calling up requesting that song like crazy, to the point where, they started trying to make me and Rock be a crew, and that wasn't the case. That just wasn't the case. I mean, he was my homie, we had history together, but we wasn't no group. That was our first time ever rapping together. Like,
wow.
Especially song, maybe in a cipher or something, but we just went in there and handled the business, and he handled his business. He was a professional. Like, that's the one thing about Rock. He was a showman, he wanted to be a star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was one thing he wanted to be. So
wow.
When he got the opportunity, he was gonna make the most of it. And after that, he lost his damn mind. After that song, you could he was running around like, we had a deal and was getting played on the radio or something. But that led him to turn up the bass, and the rest is history as far as his career goes.
Yeah. That was, and you can hear it. You can hear, in how y'all delivered that particular piece. It was well put together. Especially for that time back then when it came out. And I was just like, wow, that's nice to hear you all together on the same song. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously everybody know, for those that know Cool Rock Steady, or at least know of him, know that he was a very interesting character. And and to be able to just do a project with him, I think that was, and have something recorded that we can now listen to, because that's one thing about music, is that it's ongoing. Even after the person that made it is no longer here, that music still lives on.
Yeah, like I said, that song was a big song for a number of reasons. Like I said, because at that time, that might have been the first hip hop song that I recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Not me rapping over nobody's beats or doing something live, but like an actual recording. Because prior to that, the only thing I did was that song with Jesse Saunders. And like I said, when we did that, it catapulted a lot of different things in so many different ways, because It was requested. Like I said, people was calling up. They did an article on it. People was trying to sign us as a group. It was a lot of things that unfolded after that song. And then it took me to the next song I did, which was the summertime song. And me and Farley did that. So after that was laid down, that was a whole nother turning point in the game. And then the Christmas rap, that's what led to the Christmas rap. And, but all the people I did meet through doing that song with Jesse Saunders. So it's still, you see the trickle down effect of it. Dwayne
Okay,
Duke,
so
what you about to say?
I was going to say, so can you, just for the record, for those that may not know, because obviously we got a lot of your friends watching, but we also got some people that's learning from what you're sharing that just didn't know any of this information that you're sharing. And so can you tell the viewers a little bit more about that particular song, the Summer Madness / Summertime?
Well, after Farley dropped the ball with the Stop Holding Me song, he came back and he came with another even more brilliant idea, because he was like, we're going to do another Chicago song. And I'm like, I told you I'm not doing no hip hop. He's like, no, we're going to do it to the other Chicago music. I'm like, the other Chicago music? He's like, yeah, we're going to do it to Steppers music. And I said, oh, you on to something with that. And then he gave me a list of records. He not a list, but he gave me a group of records to listen to. And he said, whichever one of these you pick, I'm gonna turn it into a beat. And I picked Summer Madness. And when he came back with the beat, I went on my boy crib and I laid it down through some headphones and sent in the copyright. And after that, it was like it was on. It was like that. I took that to HBK, and that was bigger than Stop Holding Me. Like, I told you the story of the guy telling me I wasn't Mello D the other day. So,
yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, Mello D. I was like, that's Mello D. He was like, nah, that ain't Mello D. So that's how crazy that song was. But with all that being said, I took the song to Wayne Williams, DJ Wayne Williams, because he was like, Mello, you come to me with a single, I could get you signed. And I took him the song and he was loving it. This was before he worked with Will Smith. This was before he got R. Kelly signed. So, we was talking back and forth. He was like, man, I got you. And I guess when he talked to Farley, once again, Farley did whatever he did. And I just noticed with a couple of times I talked to Wayne after that, it was distant and it just fell apart. And, by that time I did another song about the summertime. I rapped over Roy Ayers' song, My Life in the Sunshine. So, I started taking that whole theme and making that Mello D thing around them slow grooving songs like that. Like one of them songs I sent you, I'm rapping over Frankie Beverly, Happy Feelings. I just took on that persona. Like this is this type of stuff I'm gonna be rapping over. And next thing I know, I looked up and the Fresh Prince song came out, or Will Smith, Summertime. And I was like, wait a minute. When you go to read the credits, everybody's on it is from Chicago. Wayne Williams, Hula and Finger. So it's like, hold up. Wayne, he took my song. So everybody's run up to me like, Mello, man, that's your song. That's your song. That's your song. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And, like I said, at the end of the day, me and Chili Q talked about it when we reconnected. He had told me the backdrop story. Wayne was trying to save his career, which I get, with Jive. And he took him a concept that, in his opinion, he knew was going to work. And he was right. That's Fresh Prince's big song. So, at the end of the day, hopefully I'm going to get my check one day. And then, I'll be interviewing you from a yacht.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
it's gonna be a big royalty check. All I need him to cut me is just one after all this time. Put it in one, I'll be good. So,
yeah. Okay.
That's the history of that, though. That's just some more. Like I said, the stories and the way things move with the music business in Chicago. Nobody really got it. They didn't see it, and by the time they did, the game had passed. Chicago. It just did. How many rappers we got from Chicago right now that's in the game? And I'm not talking about the drill rappers because that just emerged. I'm talking about the Commons, Kanye's, the Brat.
Yeah.
It's only so many. Chance. I said, when you start talking about how many rappers there are from the East Coast, from the West Coast and down South, it's endless. So and we talk about Chicago.
Yeah.
We talk about a major city. This is the only contribution we have.
Right.
Is 10 rappers.
Right.
20 at the most. So that's come on. That just tells you something is not right business wise. There's plenty of talent there.
Right.
There's some incredible talented people, and from producers to writers to even business people. So but without an opportunity and an outlet, who's going to see that? And that was one of the things in my years. One of my main things with hipping and hopping when I was coming up was trying to provide an outlet for that and trying to show people, no, this is the game, this is hip hop, this is that, this is what being true to it is, this is whatever that is. I'm not doing it, and that's what I live by. I forged a lot of true friendships through that stood the test of time, because that was the one thing I was repping it for real. Like I still am.
Yeah.
When I moved down here to Atlanta, cats didn't know my history, and I wasn't spending time trying to ram it down their throat, because at the end of the day, it's because you don't know about it don't mean it didn't happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Through time they found out, just us being around and getting to know each other, and then certain things would evolve, and people would just like, man, how you know that? But no, I don't just know that. I know this too. Damn, you know about that? Or then you might tell them something they ain't know, but they got a career. You know what I'm saying? They stars, they celebrities, they people in this industry. And to them, I was just somebody they come to know. But then they realize, like, no, you a true head to this. Yeah, I am. Yeah, so it's just what it is, man. Playing the hand you dealt and turning it into a winner. So
my man Kingdom Rock is checking in again with a comment, and he says the label signed our artists to shelve them and force them to ghostwrite.
Like I said, I don't know how many of them that happened to. Like I said, like we was talking the other day, and I'm not saying this to attack anybody. I'm just speaking on what is. When I told you about R. Kelly, one of the biggest artists in the music game, period. How many people did he put out from Chicago?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He could put anybody out.
Right.
It was a point in time he had the music business in his palm of his hand. So how many people did he put out? And I ain't just talking about rappers. I'm talking about period.
Right.
Singers.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. You had a number of people that sat in these positions that had the connections, but chose to play that, oh, you need to be on my tip, or you need to do it how I say do it. Like, how you about to show up in the rap lane and you wasn't into this at all? Now you got this position because of whatever status, but now you about to tell a true person how this is supposed to come off. Like, nah, you about to make me phony.
Right.
So that's not about to work. So you that's what you ran into. At least I did when I was dealing with it. So it didn't make it frustrating. It just made me fight a little harder. And then it made me realize I got to get up out of here. It just did, and that's what brought me to Atlanta. And then I went on to perfect my art of producing. You know what I'm saying? Just so
okay.
Like I said,
okay.
I still spit bars, but I ain't trying to be nobody's MC.
Right. Okay. Well, let's listen. Let's listen to one more of your songs. The time is just flying by, man. It's already 9:20. So let's just listen to one more of your songs, and we're gonna conclude with you wrapping up about what you got going on currently today.
Okay.
This is Everyone, this is Mello D, the Christmas rap. See if it's gonna play for me here.
It's not a silent night when Mello D recites, so all should hail the monarch of the mic.
Before Christmas and on through the house, all the people were jamming without a doubt. And who was rocking the place with the greatest of ease, the harmony of poetry? The same melody, you just love to bring joy to the girls and boys. Cause when you make a child smile, it makes your head break joy. That's why every time I rhyme, the people wanna hear it. Got my red and white Nike on the show, my Christmas spirit. So ho ho ho, and away we go. Cause Mello D is gonna start his Christmas show. Like this. He rocks well, he rocks well, he rocks all the time. Mello D makes you feel with his Christmas rhyme. A long time ago, when I was a little lad, I was maxing and relaxing in the front of my bed. Chilling with my homeboys, and you know that's right, we had nothing to do except the snowball fight. So we started a brawl and we was having a ball until my mother said, "E, you got a phone call." So I put the fight on pause just because I knew that it was my homeboy Santa Claus. So when I picked up the phone, I said, "Chris, what's wrong?" He said, "I need you write me a Christmas song. It's gotta have fun, and it's gotta have heart, and it's gotta have the bass of the monarch." So I said, "Nothing to it. You know that I can do it," and I just started writing on your head. That's when he hung up the phone, and I heard the tone as the clock tick-tock. On and on, I just sat and sat, trying to think of a rap, but it's the jolly old man with the big white sack. Busted, busted. This rhyme, but nothing was coming to mind at the time. So as the clock ticked on and I sat all alone, thinking what I'm gonna put in this Christmas song. And that's when he really knocked me out. I said I'm right about what Christmas is all about, because it's about love, it's about sharing, kindness, tenderness, the most of all care for those who want but cannot get, for those who have but not yet, for those who need to learn to laugh and cheer. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I called him back, I said, "Come and get," he said. And then seconds later, I was one hoof, and then I heard footsteps up on the roof, and then coming down the chimney, might it be? He said, "No, Mello D, don't panic, it's me." He said, "Can't stay long, I come to pick up the song, and to tell you the truth, I got to be pushing on." So rap the rap, took a sip of cocoa. He said, "Yo, Mello, it's time I go." It almost made me cry because he had to leave, but I knew what Santa had to achieve. So then he took off the flight, and before he left my sight, he said, "Merry Christmas, and to you a mellow night, night, night."
All right, so stop, hold up, wait a minute, stop the presses. Hey, y'all are not gonna believe who is tuning in right now. Who is tuning in to check out Mello D right now? None other than K-Ill, the hip hop Gandhi.
Hey, Izzo. What's up, baby? Look
Yeah,
at him.
you said
Look
check
the
out my
same.
Mello.
He look even better. I need his seat.
Look. He's saying Cold Kicking It Live Chicago.
Yeah. There it is. You saw that fly. Yeah. Cold Kicking It. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, Ken. We appreciate that, my brother.
That's a good look, man. I appreciate that. Much love.
Yeah, he say, how you doing?
Man, I'm lovely, man. Other than this, this pandemic, man. So I'm good. You looking great. If that's a recent photo, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That's secret because I need to share some of this pounds.
Kingdom Rock said, "Peace, K-Ill. This is Kingdom." Yeah. That's a blessing. I'm so glad he was able to tune in. He says, "Appreciate you doing this." Yes, we thank you so much, K-Ill. Yeah.
That's crazy. That song, man. I hadn't heard that song in so long, man. The one thing I remember about that song when we was making that in Chicago track, all the other groups kept coming in the room because the 808 was shaking the building.
Oh wow.
That's what I remember. That was one of the main things. They kept coming there like, what is that? Like
Yeah. K-Ill say he's honored to be here, man. And look, I reached out to K-Ill, everyone, on Instagram just to let him know that we were doing an interview with Mello, and he tuned in. So I mean, this is making me emotional over here right now.
Hey man, me too, man. There's so many memories coming back, man. Man, K-Ill had a record collection. I don't know if it was all his records or him and JP, but man, we used to sit over there and listen to all kind of music, man. It was just like, it was crazy, man. Like I said, he was definitely a historian on the music side with that. Like I said, and his contribution to Chicago hip hop was at a whole nother level.
My homeboy, Mr. RYC Live himself, checking in again. He says, "Salute Mello D from Mr. RYC Live, formerly known as JMD."
He is.
Yeah. And then Kingdom comes with another comment. He says, "Who did the production, Mello? That was well produced for back then."
That was me and Wayne Williams. I mean, not Wayne Williams, Dwayne Buford.
Okay.
He was a musician that worked with Jesse Saunders. So that's, like I said, I met him, Farley, all of them through doing that song. So, but I came up with that idea to turn what's his name at that boo-doo-doom into a bass line. And then he played it because at first he was like, "How you gonna do that?" I said, "Just play it." And he played it. And once we did that, it was just like, then he came with the Donny Hathaway sample, and then I came with them other samples, Mo D, ho, 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 and all that other stuff. And,
Nice. Okay, well, hey, listen, man. Let's get ready to conclude. But before we do, tell the viewers, what is Mello D doing today? What's going on with you today, my brother?
Oh man, in the kitchen cooking up new heat, man. About to go to this next level with some things, man. Getting ready for this 2021 movement, the Electric Cafe. Like I said, about to drop some new heat. Because I took some time off from the game because I had a studio down here and they ended up selling the building we was in. So once that did, I took that opportunity just to get a breather because it was a little chaotic. The people I was in business with, I just needed a breather. But once I found my passion again, I got a whole new setup, and we basically in here doing, what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. A little something.
Just in here building a little something. But like I said, just working on some new things and about to get with some writers and like I say, just start the process all over again.
Okay. Hey, listen, my homeboy, Mr. RYC Live himself, aka JMD, had a question for you. He says, do Mello D remember the battle we had on the West Side?
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's right. When he said JMD, I was like, oh yeah, I know JMD. You know, you change your name to you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said,
He got many names.
That's what I love, to see us still doing it. That's what I love.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
That's most outstanding. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know
For sure. For sure.
Still repping. So you still repping the city, you still repping the culture. What more can you do? You know?
Yeah.
Well, you ain't got to make no $1 million. That ain't what it
Right.
was ever about anyway. You know,
Right.
That came for people later.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That money thing, it wasn't like when I first started, it wasn't no money in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, man.
You talking about the Hillcrest Talent Show, of course. We got mauled. They attacked us when that was over.
Well, you know, man, it was such a great honor to have you on the show tonight, Mello, man. We have been trying to track you down for quite some time, actually, and I'm glad your homeboy from the crew, brought you into the little group on Facebook, and that's how we were able to even make this possible. And especially with you coming onto Facebook, that was a big help for us to connect. So thank you, my brother.
To thank for that. We had the pandemic to thank for that, because I'm not into social media. You know, it's a tool, I understand, but we ain't gonna go in all that. But I appreciate the reach out. I appreciate this opportunity. You know, much love. You know, I love what you're doing. Like I told you, keep it up. You know, we'll definitely be in touch, because, you know, like I said, we started a friendship now.
Yes, sir.
And, ask JMD what he remember about that battle, though.
Well, listen, you know, I don't know if he's going to be available after we conclude, but we're going to spend a little time after this is over in the next few minutes to go backstage and just, you know, chop it up real briefly, and then we'll be done for tonight. So, hey, any word of advice to any up and coming artists that you'd like to share?
Hey, perfect your craft. Like I said, when you see these songs out here, when you watching people's video, you're looking at the finished product. You don't know the work and time and effort it took to do any of this stuff, whether you singing, rapping, or making beats. So perfect your craft. Be a student of the game. Look at those before you and see what they did right and what they did wrong. But that's the most important part. You perfect your craft, everything else is gonna fall in line.
Right. Yeah, that's a good word of advice. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I was actually Mr. RYC Live, aka JMD, was saying to bring him in, but I don't see him in the backstage area for me to bring him in. So maybe you can appear a little bit, Jay, so that we can bring you in. Let's see. Kingdom says, I want to see this. Oh, there he is. There he is. He coming in. He coming in.
Mello D, can y'all hear me?
What's up,
Yes.
Man, I ain't seen you in umpteen years, man. It's a blessing to see you, man.
You too,
Man.
man. Looking good, man. Looking good. What are y'all doing that I'm not doing? There's something going on right now.
Hey, bro, just drink plenty water, bro.
I got some, but I'm drinking the right time. What is it?
Hey, just just drink plenty water and do the right thing. Don't do too much. Don't do what I wouldn't do. And I'll tell you my secret, bro. We're gonna tell you the secret. We're gonna tell you the secret,
man. I need one of them hats, man.
Huh?
I need one of them hats, man.
Oh, no doubt. RYC Live. Hey, but you say, what do I remember about that battle?
Yeah.
It was a good ass battle. And it was me, you and Cool Rock, we were actually battling on 14th and Morgan. I'll never forget it because it was right there in that little housing complex across the street from where they used to shoot Hill Street Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So my cousin stayed in that building. He would always talk about the people that stayed over there in the village and everything. But we battled right there in front of that complex, man. And the only person I would say that gave me some competition was you, man. You know, Cool Rock, I never took Cool Rock serious, you know, on a battling side. You know what I'm saying? I always thought he was a character. Rest in peace, Cool Rock. You know what I'm saying? We broke bread, you know what I'm saying? And before he made his transition, man, you know, we became friends. Through all that, man, you know, we was going after each other next, but he was still a character. But you the one that brought the heat. I think Sinbad or Chaos was with y'all too. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember it as if it was yesterday.
Yeah, because you know, I was like, what year was that? Was that like 86?
That was around 86, 87, 86, 87.
I was homeless so I was staying over there trying out of projects. That's how I got cool with the Village Crew and you know, all of them. You know, that's
okay.
Like I remember them times.
Okay. Well, see, God is good, man, because through it all, you still here with us. You know what I'm saying? And you have a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I didn't get a chance. I got to go back and look at the interview, man, because I done missed an hour and a half of Mello D. So I definitely want to hear the story, man. Very interesting. We just, again, it's a pleasure to have you, you know, a guest on the show. We have your contact information. We're definitely going to stay in contact with you, my brother. Okay. It's kind of loud where I am right now, so I'm all mouth right now. My ears, I can't really hear nothing, man. But I just want you to know, man, we salute you, man, and thank you for your contribution to Chicago hip hop, man. You laid some ground on in Chicago, and thank you.
Thank y'all, man, for this opportunity, man. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll be in touch.
He came in, right?
I didn't hear you went out.
K-Il, I thought I heard K-Il tuned in.
Yeah, K-Il tuned in. Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. We are the modern day virtual WHPK that we are. RYC Live.
That's why I say I love what y'all doing, man. I love what y'all doing.
Thank you.
Y'all showing these something that a lot of them out from Chicago, you know they broke ground on Hip Hop Museum today, right?
Yes.
They broke ground, you know. I've been in tune with Paradise. I think I was telling you that the other day. Artistic, but they broke ground. So they're supposed to cover some stuff in Chicago. He was telling me it's not just New York. It's hip hop. So I guess Chicago will have a spot in there. We'll see.
Yeah. I wish I had my earphones on. I can really hear y'all. You know, I'm around some traffic. I had to step out of a noisy area to step outside into a noisier area. So, but we got your contact information, man. I'm going to be sending you some links of some other things, bro, because I want you to really see what we own. And man, let's just stay in tune, man. Let's not let this type of time and distance go between us again, brother. It's been 30 years, brother. 30 years.
Yeah, man. But you know the saying, good thing comes to those who wait.
Right. Hey, and on that note, I'm going to get ready to sign off. I want to say thank the viewers. Thank you all for tuning in on a Thursday throwback Thursday with the one and only Artistic. I'm your boy. Y'all already know who it is, Mr. RYC Live. I know y'all used to me having on the top hat, but I'm rocking that cap right now. I want to thank all our viewers for tuning in on this Thursday. Be right back here at the same time, same place, Throwback Thursdays with Artistic. And we have other shows that's coming out that we'll be hitting you all with the promos in due time. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm about to tune out. I know our Artistic going to take you backstage, but I salute you, brother, again. We'll stay in contact. Thank you all for watching. Peace and blessings.
Yes. Hey, man, I just want to say, hey, you know what? This has been a powwow show tonight. And I'm hoping all the the viewers enjoyed it just as much as I did.
Why you ain't tell me JMD was your partner, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tell me that, man. Like, I know JMD. Yeah, we go back.
Yeah,
like I've been telling you, man. I was around. I was where it was. If it was going down, I was there. You know, if we hipping and hopping, I'm there. So
yeah. So let's chop it up for a short moment backstage, but we're gonna go ahead and conclude the show. We want to thank everyone for watching. We'll be back again next Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. You can also catch the RYC Live Uncut show on Friday nights from 12 to 1 with Mr. RYC Live himself. And follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like us on Facebook, RYC Live or Rep Your City, and just connect with us. You know, we represent Chicago, all the elements. And hey, we love y'all. And until next week, we just want to say peace and love. And don't forget to rep your city. Hey, Mello, man, we're going to chop it up real quick backstage. And hey, man, thank you once again, man. And appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you next time. Peace.